This video, which feels really fitting for the Thanksgiving holiday, was originally released as a Patreon exclusive back in October. Has the body positivity movement completely turned negative? Let's find out. Oh, and you want to get an extra video every single week and get access to the worst songs of 2025 early along with a bonus worst song? Consider supporting the habit at patreon.com/doseofbuckley. This is Buckley vs. Buckley. I've been fortunate to have 15 of my videos get over 1 million views, but only one of those has nothing to do with music. July 2013, I released a video titled Obesity, 2 years before Nicole Arbour's controversial Dear Fat People. And you might be surprised to hear that it has a 97% like ratio, despite it being pretty harsh. There's overweight, when you've let yourself go a little, and there's obese, when you've treated your body like some kind of burger and fried cheese dumpster, and now you don't fit in a movie theater or airline seats without spilling onto the armrest. 1 in 3 Americans are the second one, according to the latest stats. I don't want to hear about fat shaming. These are the same people who make stupid comments like, "The world's so obsessed with being skinny now. What about when women with hips and curves like Betty Page were sex symbols?" What about it? You don't look like Betty Page. You look like a poster boy or girl for Betty fucking Crocker. And if you're fine with being large, fine. Why are we so hung up on this shit anyway, right? Why do we care so much about whether someone's fat or skinny or what? Because of the media telling us what we should and shouldn't look like, right? So fuck it. Be fat or be skinny or be whatever. But being obese is not a fucking disease. And if it must be classified as such, then for most people it's a disease they gave themselves. It's like a heroin junkie giving himself AIDS by sharing needles. Your daily trips to fast food places and watching TV for 6 hours a night gave you this disease. You don't need a doctor, you need a treadmill. You can cure yourself. You just don't want to. Man, what an asshole that guy was. But again, 97% liked, so who's the bigger asshole? Me or 20,000 people who liked it? No, it's me. Now, I probably softened a little on my addiction isn't a disease stance. I still don't know if I like that word, but I get that some people can't help themselves due to a combination of low willpower, depression maybe, and the fact that companies hire people to make this shit as addictive as possible. Sugar is an addictive substance. The flavor profiles, they hire experts to design things to taste so good that you want more, but not so strongly that you'll get sick of it. It's a food science to make something so perfectly balanced that you'll want to shovel that shit in your face until, next thing you know, every time you go to the grocery store to feed that addiction, it feels like it takes more effort, and the cart is now doubling as a walking assistant. Then, it becomes a perpetual motion machine. You can't just start working out. You think, what? I'll start running. That's how you lose weight, right? Then you hurt your knees that weren't built for that extra 50, 60 pounds you've put on, get dejected, and go back to the safe, soft couch and wallow in self-pity and pork rinds. Does anyone eat pork rinds still? Did they ever? But anyway, I get that it's not your fault entirely if you're obese. You are fighting an uphill battle as corporations do everything in their power to make it easier for you to roll downhill. I'm sympathetic to that. But when I rewatched this video, I wanted to focus on another thing that I felt was interesting, a prediction I made at the start. Obesity, in the eyes of the AMA, is now a disease. What does this mean? Well, if you're American and obese, which accounts for apparently 1 in 3 adults in the US, your doctor is now supposed to try and treat your obesity because, well, it's a disease. And doctors are supposed to treat and cure diseases. That's what they do. Before, they were just supposed to warn you about the risks. Now they're supposed to do something about it. The problem, some feel, is that doctors will do this the way that they try and treat everything else, with pills and surgery. Fast forward 12 years. You want to hear a fun little stat I saw not that long ago? The one that made me want to revisit this video in the first place? Semaglutides, that's your Ozempic, your Wegovy, was the #1 moneymaker on the list of the top 25 drugs by spending in 2023. #1. $38.5 billion was spent on it in 1 year. Number 8 on the list was another, slightly less popular drug, Mounjaro and Zepbound generated $13 billion. So over $51 billion was spent on weight loss drugs by Americans in 1 year. You know who's most excited about this? Fat people? No, investors. Eli Lilly's stock jumped over $150 a share in April after they announced a successful trial of their oral weight loss drug they're working on. Not the release of it. A trial announcement drove stocks up over 10%. Investors salivated like the Rizzler seeing a Twizzler over the news because they understand all these other drugs are needles, which is holding a lot of people back from using them. And of course, they know that fat people love putting things in their mouth. No. But the days of body positivity are over. Now it's about body profitability. Costco just announced that if you have a prescription but no insurance, no problem. Costco members only pay $500 a month for their Ozempic. In Canada, a radio ad plays that tells you to go to ozempic.ca to get your savings card. Sure, it's a lot of money. But think of all that money you're saving on the food you can't eat anymore because the drugs turn off that part of the brain that made you hungry. Even the people who told you that you were fine just the way you are have betrayed you. Meghan Trainor, the woman who got famous for telling you that guys actually like a fat ass and hate skinny bitches, she recently revealed she's on Mounjaro and takes NADs, some sort of food pill. I was like, make me Hailey Bieber. I'll do it. I'll take it. I'm trying all the things. I love a doctor explaining stuff to me. That's a direct quote. I'll take any drugs that make me look like a hotter celebrity, which is exactly what my concern was in my original video. Exactly what I said they'd do, which maybe got lost in all the fat jokes. Come on, though. That Betty Page, Betty Crocker one, it's so good. Amy Schumer, she wiped out her entire Instagram and started fresh after revealing that she's been on Mounjaro for a while now and got lipo in 2022, posting a picture of her new body. She claims she's an advocate for women's health and that she thinks it's wrong to shame women for their bodies and that women should be able to love themselves for who they are. And sure, yeah, but what kind of message does that send? Deleting all the pictures of yourself from before. I'm ashamed of what I look like, and you should be too if you look like me. And so, this is where we are now. It's not about making people healthier. Doctors weren't ever going to recommend a dietitian or trainers that could help you understand your body and how to fix things. It's about getting the green light to sell you more drugs, get you to come to the doctor's office more to get those prescriptions refilled, which they can either charge those visits to the government in Canada or you and your insurance company in the US. Great, Americans will be skinnier. We'll see those obesity levels drop. But at what cost? About $50 billion. That's the cost. And sure, Ozempic may cause blindness, but isn't that worth it? Doesn't matter if you can't see. Other people have to see you. Don't you want to look great for them? This is Buckley versus Buckley, where no matter what, Buckley always wins.